muscle mommies. Their beef is that a specific group of soldiers, the Adeptus Custody.
It's not the fact that women are now being part of, the custodies. It's not that, right? Because we have the battle sisters, right? They're literally nuns with guns, right? We've had plenty of representation of women. I remember that one story where there was the lady who had the prisoner, and they was carrying one of the Space Marines that was on fire. She ended up letting the one prisoner run off as she ran back into the flames, literal flames of war, right? And got burnt alive to death to go fight. We had a character, right? This was, I believe, the Kings of Pig story. The main character, not that it needed to be mentioned, was gay. Nobody cared. You wanna know why? Because he ended up sacrificing his lover to a pig that he believed was his daughter because he was secretly being manipulated by Nurgle. Okay? Warhammer tends to be intense. So these things happen. That's not the problem. The problem is the fact that it was retconned from a social media post. Right, just some social media. If it would have came from the books, or even a game, or even a TV show, I'm pretty sure it would have been more accepted. But the fact that this came from a social media post, and it was like, oh, it was always meant to be like this. Keep in mind, right? 40K. Every year. There's 1,000 years. We are in the 42nd millennia, if I'm not mistaken. 42nd? Okay? We are in 42 years of this. And then you out the blue is like, oh yeah, you know that group over there that's normally dudes? We're going to add in chicks, which ain't the problem. It's the fact that now we're just going to make a post about it instead of a book explaining that this is a thing. And understand, right? These group of people was created from the Emperor, who is currently on the Golden Throne. Now, because knowledge and technology has been lost for so long, it's really the Emperor who knows how to create these dudes, right? So, to create something new, right, okay? So these people normally follow a ritual, especially like, let me say, the Adeptus Mechanicus, best example. These guys are the most intelligent of intelligent. However, they pray to their weapons because the knowledge is just that lost. These dudes do not really improve upon this. So this entire time, it's just been dude after dude after dude after dude. Clearly, if it is a chick, something had changed. And if something has changed, something major happened, or something happened somewhere across the line, and nobody, just didn't put in a buck, apparently. Now, keep in mind, right, I tend to keep up with this. I'm not the best person to keep up with Warhammer, because there's a lot of stuff to keep up with a Warhammer. A lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure there's going to be somebody who's going to come in and be like, no, it was mentioned right here in this book specifically that there can be female Adeptus Custodes and all this and that and the other. Okay, cool. Me personally, I always preferred, like, the Battle Sisters over the Adeptus Custodes, right? Because when you put in a Custodes, the Custodes' really main thing is the Emperor. They don't care about humanity. They legitimately do not care about humanity. Their main and only goal is to protect the Emperor. Now, it's like the other Space Marines who'll be like, okay, protect humanity, fight for humanity, kill the Xenos, burn the heretic, never suffer underneath the witch, kill the demons, yes. But even then, it's like the salamanders who really care for humans. Okay? So you want that group who don't really care much for humans, who only main thing is to protect the Emperor, who's really, let's be honest, everybody in this entire thing are fascists. Everybody. And you're like, I want my representation in that. I want to be represented in a fascist group. In a group that is xenophobic, all type of just terrible, terrible things. They'll execute you if you don't throw your life away for the Empire. I want to be represented in that. Okay, fine, whatever. You want to be represented in that? Cool. Awesome. That's you. But to do it through a social media post, not through the books, not through a game, not something a little bit more official, but through a social media post and go, well, it was always meant to be this way. That was the case. I think you should have waited a little bit more. I think probably by the time the Emperor would have made his return, either through his rise from the Golden Throne or through his death, and he ended up rising. Okay, best way. I can give you a better way of doing this. The Emperor of Mankind, the Emperor, the big man, the big dog, dies on the Golden Throne, dead. Gets reincarnated as a chick and figures out a way to have female custodies. Done. Done deal. Done. Could have done anything better than that. But you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait. You lacked the patience. You ignored the Lord. You just jumped right into something. Look, right, it would have been cool. You could have came up with something a little bit cleverer than this. That's what this was. It was the lack of creativity. The lack of respect for what came before, right? Because even when you do have a retcon, there's some respect to what came before. There's at least some mention of it. There's something, right? Like, wasn't there supposed to be a fifth Chaos God, but then he didn't end up coming back? Okay, so then there's this one little group over here who worship him, and then didn't he have like 20 people sacrificed, and then end up one coming back, and he was the actual fifth Chaos God, and we don't even know what's going on with that dude. We don't know what's going on with him. And then what? Tzeentch and Slaanesh, even Nurgle. Nobody, right? There's so much going on, right? There's so much going on that you could have done anything, right? Let me give you an even better one. I can give you an even better one right now. Humanity have this Sister Sororitas, I believe that's what's called, right? The Battle Sisters, they're pretty much nuns with guns, as I've explained. Why didn't you give a Chaos faction one? See that? You didn't think of that. A Chaos faction of only women who praise the Chaos gods, get demonic power from it, and go out slaughter people. See that? I'm cooking. Y'all don't even know, bro. Look, all I'm saying is you could have done it any other way, but instead, right? And I don't keep up with everything Warhammer, as I have said. But you could have done better with this. This is how you gonna do it? This lazy excuse? Don't do social media, it'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. You could have, bruh, there's so many other characters in Warhammer who are fascinated by the creations of the Space Marine, right? Because there's a lot of stuff you gotta do for the Space Marine. Because you gotta survive the training just to have a chance to become one. And even then, even if you survive the training, you still might not even make it. Then you're going to die in war. All right? But past all of that, just really, you could have done so much. But we're going to skip past, you could have had her first female Space Marine proves herself. No, even better. A Battle Sister. Real young. I'm talking about she comes in real young. She's growing up as a kid, sees a Battle Sister, is inspired. Goes off and fights as hard as she can, trains as hard as she can, does as much as she can. And she happens to be the age of the Space Marine. Now, she could have been like, oh, well, we'll try to, she wants to prove herself to the Imperium so much she knows she can be useful. Just giving herself the chance to. Okay, bet. Here's an experimentation. We're going to try to turn you into a Space Marine. Boom! She succeeds in becoming a Space Marine and goes beyond that through her loyalty, through her faith, through the Emperor. She becomes a Custodes? You could have had a whole book out of that. But no. The social media post should suffice. You people, the laziness, right? And then there's the people who was bashing it. Look, now, the whole wokeness war, I get it. There's some people who get upset about it, some people who don't. I don't really care. But it's the laziness for me, the lack of creativity to me. There, you could have done this character so much justice. We don't need, it's annoying. The lack of creativity some of you have.